Hey YouTubers, welcome to my hippo video from Berlin Zoo. So Berlin Zoo has a number of hippos and a reasonably large tank to keep them in. There are some 5 million litres of water filtered here over 24 hours to keep them happy, and fish present in the water to help keep the tank fresh. The 1,000 square metre glass roof is made up of actually 800 individual panes and was the largest self-supporting double dome in Europe when it opened in 1997. The large canines and incisors of the hippo play a significant role in their everyday life. Hippos live in the savannah where they inhabit the banks of rivers and lakes, and they usually snooze in the water during the day, where often only their ears, eyes and nostrils of their powerful mouths poking out. They may even take a nice soak in the mud to help moisturise and protect their skin from the sun and the heat, and they often become livelier at night and head to the shores to eat the succulent grass. So hippos are commonly found close to rivers and lakes in the Sahara and not the desert part, because obviously they need that moisture and water to survive. And of course hippos are herbivores. They don't eat humans, they just eat plants, and they have to eat an awful lot of grass every day. They're between 2.7 to 3 meters in length when they're adult and weigh between 1 and 3 tons. They gestate their young as a mammal just like us, but for only 8 months, and they live to around 50 years in captivity, where they tend to live a little bit longer because we protect them. Hippos dive underwater with their nostrils folded, and that allows them to stay underwater for about 6 minutes before they resurface again. Hippos give birth underwater, and they mark their territory with piles of excrement similar to lots of other animals. And astonishingly, a hippo's teeth grow back throughout their lives, and they effectively sharpen themselves. Animals like hippos primarily use their large canine tusks for self-defense, but they can be a formidable animal if enraged. They hardly need them to eat because, as herbivores, they tear off their food with their lips and just chew it up languidly with molars. A newborn baby hippopotamus was recently born at Berlin Zoo, which you can see, and it shows how they carefully look after their hippos. They have picked the parents extremely carefully so they are not overly aggressive. They get on together and will look after the baby hippo. Nala, the mother, is now 13 years old, and the baby that's in this video was only born in September the 28th, 2025, so is still very young. Sadly, the baby is one of twins, and one died at birth. Now, only 1% of all hippo births are twins, so it is very rare. Now, the number of hippos has declined by an estimated 10 to 20% within the last 10 years. And the reasons for this include hunting and poaching for ivory, the incisors and canines of the animals. Also, a continuing loss of habitat by mankind in its everlasting search to take up more of planet Earth. So it's really important we look after these hippos and make sure that we keep alive the species. So despite their bulky size, the hippo can run at up to 22 miles an hour on land over short distances. But they're actually so dense they can't float in the water, so they have to walk or bounce on the bottom of the rivers or lakes. And in the wild, they typically live in groups called pods, bloats or herds, with some groups containing over 100 individuals. They can be quite a menace if brought into the wrong environment. The name hippopotamus is actually derived from the Greek words for river horse, and weirdly, their closest living relatives are strangely enough cetaceans like whales and dolphins, and they are considered to be the most dangerous animals in Africa due to their aggression and powerful bite. Now, there is a whole load of talk about female hippos producing bright pink milk, but it's actually a huge misconception. And what happens is the mothers actually secrete a red-orange oil that's part of their natural sunscreen and an antibiotic mixture that protects them in the water. So when the babies feed, they tend to get some of this mixing with the milk. So it's nothing stranger than that. And yes, the hippopotamus sounds in this video that you can hear are one of several elements that include human voices and hyena sounds that were blended together to create Jabba the Hutt's laugh in Star Wars. The hippo vocalizations can actually reach around 115 decibels, which is about as loud as a rock concert or chainsaw. And one of the most common sounds is this deep rumbling grunt, which serves as a warning to potential intruders, signaling their presence and asserting their authority.